Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pleasantly Positive Show, episode 10. I can't believe we're already at 10 of these. My name is Savvy Savian, and with me today I have Julia, or how do I've actually never known how to say your full streamer name.
Well, I think you're gonna have to try. You're gonna have to try
Julia
right now.
Assacre.
Oh, close,
Kind of
but
like
not quite.
massacre, but Julia.
Yeah, so like, it's actually Juliassacre.
Juliassacre.
It sort
Okay.
of rolls together.
Juliassacre. Okay, that's much better than what I Julia Assacre. That doesn't even work the way I
Yeah,
said it.
I mean, like
I'm
that's
adding an
like that
extra
is the two
syllable.
parts of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
Ju- Juliassacre.
The important thing is you can't spell Juliassacre without ass.
That I've seen it right there. Assacre. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a show where we take a look back on our week and we just try to highlight some of the positive moments that we had, as well as maybe talk about a positive news article or two. So, Julia, with that, how was your week this week?
Um, it was pretty good. It was very good at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Um, cause I on the Monday I went up to London to see a gig,
Mm-hmm.
a gig played by my current favorite band of all time. Although you know what my favorite band of all time is changes all the time because I
Yeah,
just lose interest and move on. But no, I went to see Jane's Addiction. Have you heard of Jane's Addiction?
I don't believe I have. Are they are they kind of like more local to the UK, or is it like a
No,
big
they're
band?
American. They're from
Oh
LA.
wow. Oh okay. No, I've never
But
heard
they
of
were
it.
active like they were mainly originally active at the end of the 80s. They,
Mm-hmm.
according to some people, invented the alternative rock movement. I don't know if that's really true,
Invent.
but
So
yeah,
they're an older band.
they kicked it off. Yeah,
So
they are an older band.
they're an older band. Okay. Well, nice. I'm glad you got to do that. It's always fun going to get to go see a
Yeah.
concert and whatnot. How's London? I've never been to the
Yeah,
UK. How's London?
it's busy. Yeah, went a little like so. I went to the gig with my brother, and we beforehand we sort of did a like mini pub crawl through Camden, where the gig was. So Camden is in the northwest of London,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a very very. It's got a lot of musical history. Camden,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse was from Camden, lived in Camden. There was pictures of
Really.
her everywhere, and like various
I've
other British artists. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing I don't know why, but now that you mention, I've been seeing a lot of Amy Winehouse stuff crossing my feed lately. Uh,
Hmm. There's
and
a
I
Sorry, I keep interrupting
no
you.
no no, you go, you go,
Interrupting you.
you go. Sorry.
No, there's like like a biopic, or I don't know if it's a film or a series. Has just come out or is coming out or something. So there's been a lot
Uh
of push on that. Yeah.
okay. I was about to say because I don't follow Amy, and I was like, I've been getting a lot of really a lot of Amy
Yeah.
Winehouse content recently, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just strange.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad that was so. That was the start of your week on
So
Monday.
yeah, a really good start to the week.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the week was kind of just working and just
Life.
fine. So yeah.
Yeah, nothing bad. I hope though.
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. The weather wasn't great until today, but yeah, no, it
How's
was
the
all
weather?
right.
How's the weather been over there?
It's been very nice and sunny and warm today, so
Okay, as
which is a
opposed
change.
to what's typical? Because in my head, I'm
Well,
always told it just rains over there all the time. But
it's not strictly true, but it also kind of is true.
hmm see, you're glad that it's nice and warm. I hate it down here in Florida. It's too hot all the time.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
What
it.
what's the temperature there at the moment, or has
Uh,
during the what was it during the day?
let me see. I said 72, which I knew could not be right. It's 85 currently.
All right, now I'm
Uh,
gonna convert that
Oh, sorry.
into.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know the conversion. Unfortunately, it's probably in around the 50s, 40s, I believe, for you.
Yeah, hang on, let's see. So one thing that I'm really crap at doing is talking and typing at the same time.
No, you are totally
Right.
okay.
What did you say? So you said it was around 80-ish.
85.
Oh, okay. 85. Okay. Oops, I put 5, which is -15. It
And
was
and
not
this has
5.
been this has probably been like the
Okay.
coldest day in like the past 2 weeks. I
Oh,
want to say
really?
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's about 30 in Celsius, which
Oh,
is like pretty hot. For the UK does not often reach that temperature.
really? At
Like it'll
like,
do it
mm,
maybe for a week maximum in the summer.
I'm jealous. I wish. I miss living in a colder climate. One thing that's like, even though here it's like, again, like 85, between like 85 and 95, again, conversion, but that 10 degree that
Yeah,
10 degree
yeah,
difference.
yeah,
And but it feels, here there's like how there's like the actual temperature, then there's how it feels, and like with the humidity and everything that we have here, it's been feeling like in the hundreds plus.
yeah. God.
And so,
See, I mean, like, I think we can bond over hatred of humidity, really, because
yeah,
we
humidity's
get that's what it's
awful.
like in the UK. Yeah.
It's just like, even because the thing about humidity is, even if it's not that hot outside, it's like the humidity is just like, I feel like I'm walking through a swamp. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be positive.
Oh, true. Yes, absolutely. Also, do you often talk about the weather on this podcast? Because I feel like you've got a Brit on, and now we're just talking about the weather.
You know, I'm not sure now that I think about it. I feel like it's in me to complain about the weather always, anyways. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so is that kind of like it for your week? The band, and then just nothing else really going on.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. A
I
solid week
guess
is
so,
still
like,
a good week.
that's true. We did so me and two other streamer friends, who Willow and Nell,
Oh yeah.
have been raising money for charity with our streams throughout May.
Yes,
So
for
that finished
calm,
this week.
right?
Yeah, for Calm, for Campaign Against Living Miserably. So we
Yes.
finished on £180, which I don't know what that is in dollars, but so yeah, we
Uh,
finished that, and that's all
I think
good.
dollars. Oh, because I think it's like 200. I think it's like
Okay.
200 for us, 200 USD for anybody
Mm-hmm.
who's wondering. It's somewhere around that number. I know it's more in US dollars. Yeah, I was able to throw in a $5 donation
Oh
at
yeah,
the
great.
very
Yes.
end. At the very end, because every time that I was in Willow's chat, somebody be like, "Sammy hasn't donated yet," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I
You're
just
not
got a new
supposed to guilt
job."
people. We're not supposed to guilt people into donating.
No, I've been meaning to. I've been so scatterbrained, and my mornings have been taken up by my new job, and that's usually when y'all are streaming, is my mornings. So
Yeah,
I just keep
that's
forgetting.
fair. Yeah.
Like, I haven't been able to really stop in and at least redeem something stupid lately.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least, like, I feel guilty because I basically never get to see your streams because you're streaming when I'm in bed.
Yeah.
You might catch me in your morning, but yeah, it's like
It's
you
yeah,
got
say
you.
it's nice because like I wake up and I'm like, oh, Nell, Willow, Hugh, everybody's live right now. This is great. Well, all
Well,
right.
one of these days I'll need to like stay up all night and just catch some of the American streamers that I follow but never watch.
I've tried doing morning streams, like usually Thursdays I do in the morning,
Mm,
but
mm.
I don't get a lot of traction in the mornings for some reason. And so, well, not for some reason, I know why, because it's the morning, but
Yeah.
I keep telling, I was like, oh, I'll do more morning streams, but then when I do stream in the morning, I'm like, oh, this stinks. Nobody's in here. So yeah, one of these days, maybe I'll just
Mm.
move to Europe one day, like I dreamed to, and
Yeah,
you won't
do
have to
it.
worry about it.
Just do it.
Yeah, I think
Not like,
no offense to the
not
UK,
like.
I want to
Sorry,
no, go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's not like all the countries in Europe are really against people coming into them right now.
It feels like every country, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
even
true.
here, everybody's like, no, don't come over, and I'm like, why not? Um, yeah, no offense to the UK. I think I'd want to go to Sweden though. I have a really terrible obsession with Sweden.
Yeah, no, Sweden seems pretty nice. I've never been, but yeah,
I just like how cold it
seems pretty
is,
cool.
and I like
Yeah.
the language, even though most
Mm.
people there also speak English.
Yeah, everyone. Well, the stereotype is that everyone there speaks perfect English.
Oh, I don't know about that. I in Miami here in Florida, I actually ran into some Swedish people,
Hmm.
and I learned a lot about the country. Basically, that they're like better than the U.S. in every way. I was talking to them, and she was like, "Yeah, like I think it's so weird that you have to pay for healthcare, insurance, this, school, and
Yeah.
blah, and like how you have homeless people." And I'm like, yeah, yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. um, but yeah, uh, I guess I can talk about my week.
Yeah, yes. How was your week, Sevi?
My week was, I guess it was good. That oh, got a fly in my face. That's not good. But it was good. I would say it was like pretty standard week. Nothing amazing happened, but nothing bad. I would say the worst part about this week was today up until the stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I told you I was going to tell you. I had a really, I don't want to say terrible day at work. It was just so busy. So I work at a coffee shop.
Mm.
And,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and I kid you not, from 8 a.m. to close at 2 p.m., I probably had like 10 drinks on my line.
Oh
Like
my
just like 10
God.
like 10 drinks to still make on top of what I was already
Mm.
making. I mean, the entire however long that is, 6 hours or whatever. And yeah, but that was like the only bad part about my week was just how busy
Okay.
it
Yeah.
was. But but yeah, so Monday I played tennis with my coach, as well as I got to meet he paired me with this high school student who's trying to get better, and
Hmm.
so I played with him a little bit, got to meet him, and it's just nice meeting new people, especially in the sport that you
Mm.
play. It's very pleasant. Do you play any sports or have played any sports when you were younger?
Well, I mean, when I was at school, played all the standard sports that people play at school in the UK, which I guess is going to be a little different to the States,
Yeah,
but
football.
football,
Yep.
yes.
Hmm. I want to make because I know you feel like, oh, football. He means American football. No, so like football slash soccer.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay.
Soccer.
What is
Although,
like
as
a?
it happens, the word soccer was invented in the UK, so
Oh, really? What does it mean?
yeah.
Something else?
So it comes down to it means the same thing, but when rugby, which of course obviously is similar to American football, when that started, when that was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
technically it's called rugby football, and
Ah,
soccer is association football, and that was shortened to soccer. Like,
interesting. Okay, yeah.
so you'd have soccer and rugger if you were a really posh, like, super private school kind of person. But
Mm-hmm.
most people in the UK obviously don't call it soccer because
Yeah.
now we're like stupid Americans claiming our name.
So it's specifically to hate America. It's that you don't use it. It's funny because we actually have a lot of people here, even in the U.S., that say football because
Oh,
at least,
right. Mm.
like here in Florida, I know we have a high like Spanish and Hispanic population, and
Oh, right.
they
Yeah.
all say football as well. They don't say soccer.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
yeah, so it's that's interesting. Um, yeah, so I did that. Got to play with him. Oh, and also while I was playing tennis, back in 2017, so I met this like group of people that play tennis just at my local tennis center every Saturday. And I met them through this one guy who just randomly approached me while I was hitting against the wall, and he was like, "Hey, I know these group of people. If you ever want to go hit with them,"
All
and
right. Yeah.
yeah, and I ran into that same gentleman the other day playing tennis, and he did not recognize me, which is
Oh
totally
no.
fine. Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
I do not look the same, so I didn't even.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, you're hitting pretty well. Do you play for the school?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Wait, what's your name?" And he's like, and I was like, I you probably don't remember me, but like,
Yeah.
6 years ago, you told me to go meet these people." And he was like, yeah, I don't remember that." And I'm like, "Well, it's nice to see you again." He's like, "It's nice to meet you." And I'm like, I gotta get rid of this hair clip. I keep fiddling with it.
Oh, I'm really bad for like messing with all the stuff on my desk. I've just realized my webcam has gone super blurry.
Oh, you gotta
And
you
it's
gotta do
because
the palm technique that I like to do when mine goes blurry.
the
Is it
palm
focus
technique.
and then
I
bring
was
it to your face.
one time it didn't work. One time it did work.
Ah, there we go.
Thing is, It always wants to focus on Shrek here on my microphone.
I think that's so out of it's like the big face or Shrek face. And it
Yeah.
picks Shrek face. Oh man, do you like Shrek? Are you a big Shrek person?
I mean, I watched the first. Yeah, I've only. I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself like a big Shrek fan. I enjoyed them when they were a thing. Um,
It's just a
they
funny
they
sticker,
are
so
good.
I.
Yeah. It's basically because my moderator York Morgan sent me this bunch
Mhm.
of stickers, so I've
Yeah.
stuck a few of them around the place.
Okay. Yeah. I do like the Shrek. It's very funny. um, what else did I have on here? Oh yeah, I've been like trying to do like a 10,000 steps a day goal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do it for a month. And besides, I have already failed technically. Days 3 and 4, I failed, but it's only because I supplemented the steps with other workouts.
Okay, that's fine. That
Yeah,
seems okay to me.
exactly. And so I was in my head, I'm like, you know what? It's cool. You did other workouts, so it'll be fine. Um, but like for all the other days, I've been hitting the goal, and it's just kind of nice because usually I would just like lean back after getting off work or something and just watch YouTube for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But this has kind of been getting me off my butt and out. So yeah,
Yeah, I need to start doing some kind of workout.
I
When I
just
was I used to be when I was working part-time on my days off, I would always start the day by doing Just Dance on the Switch, and which
oh
like
yeah.
so I thought like it's not going to be the most efficient, not the best workout, but it's going to be something that I'm going to do because it's fun, and
Hmm.
like it's better me doing that than not doing anything at all. But since working full time, I just haven't done any exercise at all really, other than just working. So
I mean that's usually how it goes. I feel like anytime that I work full time, I have to like really commit, and it's really hard to get myself to do just about anything. Even like if somebody's
yeah,
like, hey, you want to go play tennis, and I'm like, I mean, it's like right after I get off work. I don't know. So but
yeah,
at least with part-time, I feel like I have a little more energy to kind
mm,
of do what I want to do. um
yeah,
but yeah, I mean that kind of concludes my week. It was a pretty standard week, a lot of work. I actually worked a lot more hours this week than I used to. My job's supposed to be part-time, but
mm.
this week I just ended up working a lot more than usual.
All right,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. How many? I, asking you since you don't live here. All the question about. Do you work a 40-hour week? Is that full time over there?
Um, yes. Strictly speaking, I work like 37 point something hours a week
Hmm.
because I'm like contracted for 7.5 hours a day because my lunch break is a half-hour non-unpaid lunch break. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every day is 7.5, so that times 5 is 30 something. But yes, basically it's a 40-hour week.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I know this. I know there's some places that are like kind of adopting like the 4-day work week, and I don't
Yeah.
know if that's like country based or like I don't know what y'all like county province. I don't know exactly how y'all
Yeah,
break your country
I
apart.
think certainly in the UK, it's definitely not a widespread thing, and it's definitely not a it's been proposed by some politicians, but there's no big support behind it from the mainstream, as it were.
Yeah.
But I think some industries, do move towards that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say unfortunately, but I mean, if you like, you might not like a 4-day work week either. So
Yeah, but then like, yeah, I don't know. Well, I lost my train of thought. It's gone.
it's okay. It was a random question. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, that's
I've always
fine.
thought it'd be really cool to like have a full-time job, but it's still a 4-day work week. I like having 3 days off. That's
Yeah.
usually what I have right now is 3 days off, and but that's still part-time work. I only work like 5 to 6 hours a
Mm.
day, depending on the shift.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah, but I don't get a break either. Typically, if I
yeah,
want to like stop to eat something, I can. But besides that, I don't really get a break.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
It's just because like my coffee shop is like really, I don't want to say it's low staffed. We just keep a low staff like throughout the day because like if you have more than 4 people behind the bar, it kind of
yeah,
is just like somebody usually kind of ends up just standing there like, what am I doing?
yeah. It's difficult with customer service roles like that, because there are times where you need like all hands on deck, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, you don't want that many people standing around. So
No,
yeah.
like every time we have a shift change, there's usually like a 30-minute overlap between the openers and the closers. And you like the other day, me and my coworker came in, and there was already 4 people behind the counter, and so we kind of were just like I'm looking for things to do, and it's all being done. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And
But like, I feel like there needs to be a real sort of push against the idea that you need to be doing something at all times. Like, obviously, if there is stuff that's not getting done because everyone's standing around and talking, then that's not very good. But if there's literally nothing to do, then it should be. I mean, at the end of the day, you're there. Your job is to be there and help customers if they are there. But like, it
yeah.
doesn't matter if you're standing around waiting because there's no customers. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good, and I feel like everybody at my job's pretty good. That is like, if it is slow, finding something that's not like oh like I have to go do this since there's no customers. Kind of like just like make sure you wipe the counters, wipe the
yeah,
tables,
yeah.
and that's basically like any job I work where it's like it's really slow and I finished on my main task. I don't know, go organize a shelf or something like that. I'll just go just keep
Yeah.
keep myself low stress busy, kind of.
Yeah.
Especially since like where I work is like kind of like mom and pop small business kind of thing. I feel really bad if I do nothing because I feel like oh I'm stealing profit. 'Cause
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's difficult.
if it's a
That's the thing,
corporation,
like,
I don't care.
yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, no, that's basically been my week. Just kind of boring, playing a lot of tennis and walking. The thing is, I have noticed with this step goal is since I have the goal, I don't run now. I'm like, well, I could just walk the goal. Usually I will like go running, but I won't
Yeah.
have a goal in mind. But now I'm just like, I'll just walk the goal. I don't know. May I want to ask about on the camera. You have a scrub daddy in the background.
a,
I
boxed, a boxed mint condition scrub daddy.
Are you ever gonna use it?
I'm not. Well, I don't know. I feel like
is
it's
it
just
up there for a reason or?
it's a good. It's just a good, interesting, random knickknack to have in the background of my streams.
I do like it. He's just kind of like smiling, like peeking through the box, like
Yeah.
hey. Hmm.
Yeah. No. That. So I work in a. Well, I work in a charity shop, which I understand is like it's hard to. Like Americans don't. You don't necessarily have a direct equivalent. So it's like a Goodwill store,
Yeah.
except I don't know how it works over there, but basically it's a store that is owned by a charity, and it's obviously raising money for the charity,
Mhm.
mainly by selling donated goods. And anyway, we moved like slightly up the street last year, closed a smaller shop and moved into a bigger shop building.
Mhm.
And the scrub daddy it was in our kitchen in the
Yeah.
box, and I was like, can I just take this? So yeah, I just took it for free. So
So it has a backstory to it. I like that.
Mm.
uh, and we actually have like I would say similar, if not the exact same thing. Like we have
Okay.
like I guess the Goodwill could also be considered that, but I think more of like we have what's called the SPCA. Don't ask me what that abbreviation actually means. I never remember. But they're usually who's like it's like when like animal shelter type stuff, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they also do like I think humanitarian charitable work, but it's usually associated like, oh, I got this cat from the SPCA, he was abused, kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so like the SPCA stores that they have, everything is donated goods, and all of the money besides paying the workers that are there,
Yeah.
the rest of
Yeah.
it goes completely to the charity. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah. Unlike Goodwill, which I know is also I think they say they're for nonprofit, but I think they're also
Yeah.
openly a profit place at the same time.
Yeah.
But the SPCA though, and there's like other similar places like that are just like even like antiques and stuff are like donated. They don't ever ship in their own
Yeah.
stuff. Like besides maybe like T-shirts, like
Oh, yeah,
SPCA
yeah.
themed T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we've got the RSPCA, which is the Royal
Oh.
Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, which is
Oh, so it's yeah,
that's
it's the
an
same
animal
thing
charity in the
basically.
UK. Yeah, it's just royal
RSPCA,
because we're
because
British.
you're British, so it's royal. Yeah. I like that. Okay, I've definitely heard that before. The RSPCA.
Yeah.
I think it in relation to the UK, but yeah. And so, um, and so you work in one of those shops like that?
Yeah, I'm an assistant manager at a shop like that.
Oh,
3 days a
nice.
week, and then
So
two
you could
days a
say
week. Sorry, go on.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then the other 2 days of the week, I work at the warehouse of the same charity, listing on eBay for
Mm-hmm.
various things that are good for selling on eBay rather than in a physical shop. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you say that you do charitable work?
Yeah. Um, no, I haven't ever actually used it for social like clout really.
Well, no. I also mean like a resume. Like you can like, oh,
True. Yeah.
I do I'm part of a charity.
Yeah.
Sure
Yeah,
I get a
true.
paycheck, but
Yeah.
have you ever done like volunteer work before? Like big program volunteer work?
No, I mean I volunteered for in one of the other shops owned by the charity I work for now
Mm-hmm.
as a volunteer in the shop before I got this job. It's kind of
Yeah.
just how I got this job. But yeah, no, I haven't done any like I don't think I've done any. I don't think I've done any like big charity work as it were.
Okay.
I volunteered helping out with this cool exhibition that happens in my hometown every few years or so with like it's like old pictures because we've got a really old photography shop here and the
Mm-hmm.
family goes back till the mid 19th century. So they've got this archive of all this old photography. A lot of it is like pictures of the town, so like we put out these exhibitions of pictures of the town as it was back in the day, like in the windows of the same building that's like
Yeah.
shown in the picture as it were,
Uh-huh.
so you can like see how it used to be and stuff. So I help out with that, which is like that's a
That's
cool
really
thing.
awesome. No, that's really cool. I love history, and especially like history relating
Mm.
to like small town stuff. Here in Titusville, Florida, we have a aerospace kind of like history museum thing.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Because a lot of everything that goes on around here is all like aerospace themed. 'Cause
yeah.
we have the NASA, Boeing, and SpaceX and all that.
Mm.
In fact, I don't know how much y'all talk about what goes on over here, but in terms of the news, but like, have you seen anything about like the Boeing shuttle that they keep trying to launch? That has like it's like a manned crew and everything.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
No, that one
so
has passed me by.
yeah, so Boeing's trying keyword to in their own rocket send people up. It keeps getting
Okay,
scrubbed.
yeah.
The rocket keeps getting scrubbed. Like today, it was supposed to go off I think at like 12:55, and it got scrubbed.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been interesting because
Mm.
there's people that are literally like flying like from out of country, from out of state, trying to
Yeah.
see these people go up to space, and it keeps getting scrubbed. And
Yeah.
so at my coffee shop, we had a lot of people like, oh, before the launch, people were like, oh, we're here to see the launch. And then some people were coming after what was supposed to be the launch, like, yeah, we came to
Mm.
see the launch. Now we have to go back home and we can't see the launch, or we have to extend our hotel tickets now, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Do y'all have like any like aerospace type of stuff up there? Is that like a thing that
Uh,
happens in the UK?
so we're part of the European Space Agency, or at least like, we certainly were before Brexit. I don't actually know if we still are. I assume we are.
Yeah.
But
Like, do y'all
all
send
of
rockets up?
all of our rocket launch, all of the European Space Agency rockets get shot. They get launched in French Guyana. So,
Yeah.
we don't really get any of that around here.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I was just curious. Oh, also you said so you do like the like the exhibition with like the old photos and stuff.
Mm.
Do you like history? I know it's just photography of the local town, but are you like a history person?
No, like I don't know, like casually, I love reading about history here and there, and like forget everything I've read immediately afterwards.
Of
But
course.
yeah, it's interesting. I do like history. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure you'll have like so many like historical sites and stuff up there to visit all
Mm,
the time. Do you ever
yeah.
go to
I mean,
any of those things?
my hometown's got a Norman castle, so. How old is my castle? I'll try not to dox myself.
Yeah, your castle.
My castle. It is. Where's the Wikipedia page? There we go. It was built in the late 11th century. There we go.
Wow, that is old. That is
Obviously,
very old.
I don't go to it very often because like I've seen it many times and there's not much of it left. So
Of course, because I don't even think we have anything that old here in America.
yeah.
I think maybe like an old campground or something about yeah.
Yeah.
11 nothing was going on over here in the 11th century in terms
Mm,
of documented history. So, um,
yeah.
actually, I do think, and probably like the New Mexico area. I know there was the Native Americans they were the Pueblo. I think that's the name of them.
Right. Yeah.
And they had like they had like the clay houses and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
those are still around, but I don't know how old they are. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to whip out Google as well and uh, oldest Pueblo houses. I know they have a lot of really old like pottery,
Mm.
and I'm probably pronouncing Pueblo wrong. Oh, that's 11th century. All right.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So we do have something that's old. So cool.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, as a kid growing up, my grandma and I, especially in the state of Virginia where I was born, we
Hmm.
have like Thomas Jefferson's like summer home, and you have
Yeah. Yeah.
DC, which is close by, but of course you have all like the Civil War stuff that happened there, and
Mm.
like we had Jamestown, Yorktown. I grew up around like my grandma's a huge history nut, and I grew up around all that kind of stuff, so I really love history. And
Mm.
if I were to
Hmm.
ever visit up there, if I was able to cross the pond, I think I'd actually want to
Yeah.
spend like a lot of time looking at like the local history and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, there's lots to see.
I'm sure, and I don't think I've ever seen a castle, so I would love to see a castle one day. We don't have many of those here.
Yeah. Not that I'm going to say which one it is, but I would not recommend coming to my one as like the castle to see because there's not
Okay.
much of it left. It was, largely knocked down, and the stones were used to make some fancy houses. So,
Ah, okay, yeah,
um,
that's fair. That makes sense.
there are some pretty stunning castles in the UK. So yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. We have like really stunning like just really old houses. And they're
Mm.
they're usually unfortunately belong to like plantations, or
Oh yeah, I can
yeah, but
imagine.
they're
Yeah.
still beautiful homes, but and or like former like president homes.
Mm.
Um, in Miami, my friend and I, when we were vacationing down there was this home of this. He was the vice president of an agricultural company,
Right.
but his home was so beautiful. I think it was called Venacava. Um, and I mean these grounds were absolutely beautiful. They were right on the water, and
Ooh.
I think I put the pictures in my Discord. I may not have, but there's this like, it looks like a broken ship, and I think it was designed to look like that, but it's like a broken ship out in the water. Like you would have to swim to get to it, but it was meant for you to kind of like go out there and stand on it. It looked like it was out of Rome. The way
Ah,
the way
okay.
that like it
Yeah.
had water surrounding it on every side, and there's like a stone
Mm.
walkway that surrounded it as well. And it's just this flat area. I'm doing a terrible job at describing it. I'll just have to post these pictures somewhere. But it was really cool. I love old history like that. And
And do I need to go and join your Discord actually? Let me just.
do not feel pressured to. it's
Well,
it's for as many people as that's in there. It stays relatively quiet.
yeah, no, I've got a pretty quiet Discord as well.
Yeah, that's all right. I have a hard time keeping up with the little bit that happens in our little streamer Discord. Uh oh, your your camera's kind of looking. I'm sorry, it's wiggy. It's really funny.
Oh no.
Can you see it on the stream? Are you
I
watching?
cannot.
Oh
Oh,
man. Oh,
I've
okay,
got
it's
your
better.
stream up.
It's better. I
I
can't like describe besides you were vibrating a lot. A
I
lot.
see. I've got your stream up, and either I missed it or it didn't come across. Like
Maybe it
it
didn't
didn't
come
actually come
across
across. I don't
on the
know.
stream, maybe, but on my screen it was hilarious. You were like, it was like you were lagging, like you had latency lag or something.
I think it was because I joined your Discord, and that caused Discord to just be like,
Maybe,
nope.
maybe. um, but yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about anymore. What was the last thing we mentioned?
You were talking about that very fancy house of
Oh
with
yeah,
the yeah.
so yeah, that's just interesting. I just love seeing old buildings. That actually looked like a castle. So that was pretty neat. Um,
Nice.
yeah, if you would like, we can go ahead and move on to this little article that I have.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So usually I have like a lot of uplifting stories, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this news article, it's still on the positive side, in terms of just it's a good story. It's more of like a history lesson. We've kind of talked about history a little bit, so I think it's relevant. Um, but the headline reads from the OptimistDaily.com, the ancient origins of your 600,000-year-old cup of Joe.
Right.
And I, for one, had no
That's
idea
pretty
that.
old.
Yeah, I had no idea that coffee goes back that much in our history. I know it went pretty far
Yeah.
back, but the 600, I think it's referring
Six
more to
hundred
like,
thousand.
I think it's
Is that? I
referring
mean,
more to like how old the plant might be.
okay. So it's not like because like I think 600,000. That's pre Homo sapiens.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why
So yeah.
it doesn't actually break down why the year, because the earliest year that it actually mentions is like the earliest amount of years was ninth century, but
Mm.
uh the history of the bean, of just like the coffee bean, goes back to ninth century Ethiopia, where they used to devour, because I don't know if you've ever seen, like, coffee comes in like a cherry. It's like a red cherry.
Yeah, I have seen it once or twice. Not in person, just
Yeah,
in
online.
videos.
Uh-huh. I used to work at Starbucks, and they made us watch like the whole history of the coffee bean
Yeah.
and everything. And so apparently they used to, just eat the cherry, and they
Mm.
discovered its kind of, caffeinating effects that way. They didn't know why at the
Yeah.
time, of course. But so they used to eat the cherries, and I believe it was like that for what I'm reading here, 6 centuries, where they were just kind of eating eating coffee cherries.
Mm.
And it wasn't until the 15th century, where it arrived in Yemen, that it was first roasted and brewed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so apparently coffee was very popular throughout the Ottoman Empire for a
Yeah.
very long time.
I do know that I have come across, I think probably from playing a lot of Europa Universalis 4, that,
What
you
was
know,
the game?
for Europa Universalis 4, it's
I
one of the
haven't heard of
Paradox
that.
grand strategy games. Like Stellaris and Crusader Kings and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those games, just like
Interesting.
the early
Okay.
early modern period of history.
Okay.
But
I love those games.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so for a long time, coffee was it was hugely popular in the Muslim world, in like,
Hmm.
the Middle East and North Africa, but Europeans didn't really have anything to do with it until some king of some country, and I've forgotten who, like really got into it and just introduced it to Europe, and then everyone started drinking it. So
Huh. Okay. It might actually mention here in the article. Uh, no, it just they sum it up as saying elites of
mm,
other countries.
mm,
But apparently, what helped spread it out of the Ottoman Empire was, uh, there was a, I saw it and I thought it was so interesting. I've lost it since. Oh, I don't want to take too long reading it, but it got smuggled into India. Uh, oh yeah, yeah, an Indian monk named Baba Budan smuggled 7 raw coffee beans into from Yemen to India.
right.
And so apparently they were challenging the what it reads here is the Arabinopoly on coffee growing.
Mm.
And from India, from India, it moved to the European nations and was again kind of was associated with intellectual and social life
Yeah.
among the hierarchy of the countries. And the most like common coffee bean, I never pronounce it right. I believe it's Arabica, something like that.
I've heard it's like Arabica, but I don't even know if
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
probably. I do think I think Arabica is probably
Yeah.
closer to the way you're supposed to. It was actually naturally genetically modified or crossbreeded, uh, because I think like the bean that came before that, the coffee plant itself was very susceptible. What I believe is called coffee rust, which is just like the
Okay.
dying and like the browning of the leaves and
Mm.
the eventual dying of the plant. I believe it's a bacteria that kills it. But through crossbreeding, and this is like from like way back in the day, crossbreeding. When I say back in the day, I mean like again like this early 15th century.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ended up crossbreeding the plant enough where they were able to get it to be susceptible to this coffee rusting that would happen to the plant.
Yeah.
I might be wrong with that coffee rust term. It's something rust that has to do with the coffee plant. Yeah, I just thought that was a little interesting, little history lesson in coffee.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've learned so much about coffee now.
yeah, maybe it's a little selfish since I work with coffee that I'm talking about it, but
Is that what you say when someone asks you, what do you do? Like, oh, I work with coffee.
I work with coffee. I actually work in a what was it, 9th century? What century are we in now? The 21st century. So I work in
Last I
a
checked, yeah.
yeah, I work in a 10 century old or whatever much
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
It's an old industry.
That makes us think of like people that are like a cashier, like, oh, I'm a financial handler,
Yeah.
or like, well, what do they say? I love the janitor one. Like, I'm a,
Yeah.
I I just love when people like try to sophisticate like a very unsophisticated job, which there's nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
it's usually
Yeah, I
like,
feel like a lot of the time I've come across it as the people running whatever it is being like we need to try and encourage people to join our organization by making it sound better than it is. So,
yep,
and like
yep.
yeah,
Like here,
like
Target, you're a guest service associate if you're a cashier.
and how Subway they're sandwich artists or whatever that is like
Yeah, like yeah, sandwich artist, something like that.
artisans. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was one in the UK for a while. We renamed what we used to call binmen, which I guess would be trash collectors.
Mhm.
Uh, and we like renamed them.
I believe we
I can't
have
remember.
something similar where you would just say like trash guy,
Da, 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 da.
but I think I don't know, they're still
I
called
found the list of
waste
them.
management jobs.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I was just in the UK. Someone had their job title was waste management and disposal technician.
Hey, that sounds really cool. And then like, so what
Yeah.
did you do? And like, oh, I took out the trash. Those are actually like, I know it's not a easy job, especially back in the day, at least here in the US. I don't know if like in the UK they like would your trash people ride on like the back / like the side of the truck?
Um, I'm not sure. I don't think so to the same extent.
Like I know
So yeah,
now
I know like
they have the claw now that just like grabs it and lifts it up, but back in the day,
yeah.
I used to
See, we don't.
love seeing the trash people going down the road holding on to the truck like a fire truck almost.
Yeah. We don't tend to have the bin lorry with the claw on it.
Really?
The guys still just. Well, there's like a little swingy lift thing on the back that tilts up the wheelie bins and so, but I think what tends to happen is like they'll all be in the cab and they'll get to the start of the street and all the guys will jump out, run down the street, getting all the bins in the right place, and while the lorry slowly drives up the street. So
I
I
think
don't
that
think they
happens a
actually
little
like
more
ride
here
on it.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they're like sitting passenger seat or so, and they hop out and they'll quickly do that. But I I'm sure it was a really big safety issue, and I'm sure something happened to where they're not allowed to sit there and ride on the back
Yeah.
anymore. uh, I believe my dad used to do that at some point. He was one of the people that kind of rode on the back of the trash truck and would hop off real quick,
Nice.
throw it in the back, and then yeah. I've always like I've always been scared of. You said they don't usually have the claw, but like the claw thing, it's like it's kind of scary, and it's like
Yeah.
it's really janky, and
Mm.
so it's. I remember I used to like wheel it out as the trash truck was coming, and I would like stand like 10 feet away because it's just like this big mechanical T-Rex
Yeah.
arm that's just and it like throws it back down. Half the trash sometimes wouldn't even make it in the truck because it would like
Yeah.
it would get caught, and then as it was coming back down, it would then fall down. It's just in the
Yeah.
road. The trash guy
I,
wouldn't
I
get off the truck and to pick it up.
I have seen the clip that there's that video, and I'm sure most people have seen it, where it picks up the bin and it just flings everything all over the
Everywhere.
place.
Yeah. Oh, I, that makes me think of was this one time at Starbucks. Do they do you go to Starbucks at all over there?
Not often. I find I don't really like their coffee that much. It's very, very over roasted and bitter. But yeah,
It's intentionally made that way. It's over
yeah.
even their
So
light
I've
roast
read.
is
Yeah,
yeah. And they mention
yeah.
they openly talk about it too when like during
Mm.
training, especially if you do what they call the coffee academy. Uh, they kind of
Yeah,
talk about how they personally over roast the coffee there.
yeah.
Where was I going with that? Oh God, where was I going with that? I got sidetracked. I was gonna say, do you do they have frappuccinos over there?
Yes.
It's like the
Yeah.
blended. It's almost like a milkshake,
Mm.
basically. Um,
Yeah.
this one time, so you have to. There's like this frappuccino base that you put in it. It just helps sweeten it slash make it blend better.
Yeah.
And this one time, I was brand new and I forgot to put the base in there, so it was very thick and it didn't blend very well. And I
Mm.
went to go like shake out the contents into the cup, and
Mm.
it wouldn't come out. And so I was like, "Come on!" I held it upside down, and it all just went whoosh, right onto the onto the counter. And
Oh
some of it made it in the
no.
cup, but not a lot of it. And I was like, "Why?" It's the only time I made that mistake. Afterwards, I I don't
Mm.
think I ever forgot to really put base in again. Um, yeah, little stupid story about about that. What do you Are you sipping on water now? I know you always do. I know you for your streams you do a tea a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have any
No, I
tea
have
right
got
now?
I've got tea, or I'm about to finish a nice peppermint tea.
No, I was gonna say don't tell me. I was gonna try to guess.
Oh, sorry.
Like your streams. Yeah.
Could have got my guessing system and everything. Yeah.
I was gonna I would have either guessed peppermint or lemon ginger because those are the only two that I remember right now.
Right, yeah. I mean, those are the OG two that I've always had as part of the tea betting.
I assume they're all non caffeinated, no caffeine.
Yes and no. They should all be non-caffeinated because I do, I'm usually streaming in the evening and I don't want to be drinking loads of caffeine. But
Yeah.
one of them is green tea with mint, and like green tea's got more caffeine in it than black tea. So I'm like,
Oh, I didn't
once
know
I
that.
finish that packet, I'm gonna stop having green tea as an option and find
Mhm.
something else.
Yeah, I used to be like, oh, a nice like cup of tea before bed would be really good, and we had this. I guess it was like a herbal tea that didn't have any caffeine. Uh, but I remember as a kid, I didn't know about caffeine, and I didn't understand any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I used to make a black tea for myself, and then I'd be like, why am I awake? It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
Um.
I oh
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, did you know that decaffeinated coffee still has a certain amount of caffeine
still has
in
some
it?
caffeine in it. Yep.
Yeah,
I love
'cause I
throwing
was
that out when people give me a hard time about make sure there's no caffeine in it. I'm like, well, it's still.
no, yeah, because I'd always be like, so when I usually once a week I go to have dinner at my dad's after work,
Mhm.
And I used to, you always have like a decaffeinated coffee after dinner. We're like, it's fine, it's decaffeinated. But then I'd just be like lying awake at night, like, why can't I sleep right now?
Yeah,
I had a
there's still
decaffeinated coffee.
just a little bit in there. Yep, just enough. And I believe caffeine has like a half life of 12 hours.
Really?
So yeah,
Yeah.
so even a little bit goes a long way. Like it doesn't leave your
Mm,
system for quite a while.
yeah.
That's why they say you shouldn't have any caffeine after like 12 to 2 p.m. just because
Yeah.
it lingers for so long. And that's what I don't miss about working at a coffee shop is I feel more inclined to have more coffee.
Yeah.
And I will take free drinks any day, but that's the whole thing is I'm like, oh, well, I
Yeah.
work here and I get free drinks. Why would I just get a water? I should make myself something nice.
Yeah.
When if I was at home and I wasn't working with coffee, I would have my morning coffee and that's it.
Yeah. How much does how much like does hot chocolate have much of an energy property to it? Because that's always like a good thing to get at a
I
coffee shop if you don't want the caffeine.
yeah, I I think there's like a certain chocolate that has a little bit of caffeine in it, but I
Yeah.
can't remember if it's milk or dark. I want to say it's dark, but I
Mm.
don't remember. I'm gonna actually look it up really quick. Just, oh yeah, like first thing I said does chocolate, and the first thing was 12 milligrams. Dark chocolate does.
Right. Okay.
Milk chocolate. Oh, milk chocolate has more in in a cup
Oh,
of it.
really?
Milk chocolate has
Okay.
34 milligrams of caffeine. White chocolate has
Okay.
0. I don't know if you do white. Have you ever had a white chocolate hot chocolate before?
Maybe not that I remember. So
They're actually really good. I would try one day if you ever get
I'll
the
need to look
opportunity.
out for one. I
Yeah.
always do that when someone asks me, "Have you ever done something?" I was like, "Maybe," because I'm like,
Maybe
"What if
I
I
don't
did
know.
it?" And I might have forgotten that I did it.
I mean, it's incredibly insignificant, so I wouldn't blame you for not remembering. It's like I don't know, probably. Like when some people are like, "Oh, have you ever had like like a cherry Sprite before?" And I'm like, I mean, I think so. I probably. Oh man. Well, yeah. Thank you for. I think we're kind of coming up to the end of the show here. We're
Mm-hmm.
at the hour mark actually. So
Yeah, look at
heck
that.
yeah. But yeah, I want to thank you again for coming on, especially because I know
It's all right.
now it's 9:30 basically over there.
It is 9:30 now. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. I was really worried that you weren't gonna want to just because of the time, which would be totally understandable. But
No, that's all right. I mean, usually when I stream in the evening, I stream up until 9:30 anyway. So this would be like when I would
ah,
be stopping a stream anyway. So
perfect, perfect. I tried to make it to GeoGuessr earlier. I was working, but I got the notification. I was like, I could just put my phone on
yeah.
the counter and set it over there because I gotta get my
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, you don't have to be actively watching to annoy me with channel point redemptions and things. So
No, that's typically what I'm typically always lurking. Like that is my way to
yeah.
let you know that I'm here is I usually redeem something. And the
Yeah.
stupider the
That's the way I
stupider the
think. Yeah.
redeem is, the better for me.
Yeah.
Like Willow has like a quack soundboard and I
Yeah,
love just
I've got the quack sound as well.
Oh, you've got the quack too?
I got jump scared by it earlier.
I can't remember if I redeemed the quack or not on yours. I like to redeem your banning a word or like banning so that was so fun
Yep.
that one day where I can't did I ban the word I?
I think I learned to talk like a caveman for a while. Yeah.
Yep, and then somebody else after you started saying me banned the word me.
Yeah. We did. Yeah.
That was good. Which I would like to bring up if you're not already following. I gotta say it right. Juliassacre.
Yeah. There we go. You did it.
Yep. Go follow them on Twitch. Is there anyone else that you'd like people to find you, or is it just Twitch?
I mean, strictly speaking, I've got a YouTube channel called Juliassacre Vids and VODs, but I haven't uploaded any. It's just for clips and nonsense from my Twitch channel at the moment. So, oh, and also like replays of rally games if anyone wants to watch those.
What
Um,
rally games you said?
Yeah, you know, like rally racing. Yeah.
I do not know
Okay.
it.
Oh, it's not as big a thing in America as in Europe. It's
Maybe
like
not.
it's cars that are like they do time trials and
I'm
Like,
sure that I just probably don't know what this is. I'm sure most other people probably do, and I just don't. I've never been too big into racing games, so.
no, yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, so you can find Julia there. Is your name just like? I assume it's just Julia,
Yes, my
right?
name is
Okay, yeah,
Julia. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So you
yeah,
can find Julia there. You can find her there.
yeah. Yeah.
Definitely go look her up. You stream pretty often, I'd say, and
Yes.
so yeah, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm
Of
glad I
course.
finally made it.
Yes, and I'm glad you're better, minus the little bit of sick that you
Mm,
still have. We were supposed to have Julia
yeah.
on earlier, but she was sick, so.
But hey, I got to be on the 10th episode, so
Which is, I would say, arguably better than, what was it,
yeah,
the eighth that would have been?
I
So,
guess so, yeah.
yeah. Um, yes, again, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I've been Savvy Savian. This has been the Pleasantly Positive Show, which is held live every Sunday. It's no longer every Sunday morning because I have a new job. Um, but it's live every Sunday, and then you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcast. Afterwards, leave us a 5-star review. It's the first time I've ever asked that, but you should definitely leave a 5-star review if you're on Spotify or anywhere. But yeah, thank you everyone so much. Julia, if you just want to stay in the call afterwards really quick, I'm just gonna end things out here. um
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, hope everybody has a good day, and thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.